It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the morning edition for Wednesday, September 28th. I'm James Spann. The progression of cooler air continues into Alabama. Feels awfully nice this morning. Going to be cooler tomorrow morning and Friday morning. Tropics have a system to watch. And when will rain come back? Let's go in there and dive in and check things out. There's the water vapor satellite view as the day begins. Upper low over the Great Lakes will be digging southward. And man, does it feel good this morning. Wow, look at Cullman and Haleyville, Decatur, Muscle Shoals at 50. Inevitably, the cooler pockets are in the 40s now. We've got Fort Payne at 54. Low 60s along Interstate 20. And then you go down to Montgomery, and they've got temperatures around 70. So the progression of cooler air is evident there. And the cool air will win the battle here in the short term. Around the nation, very cool air covers much of the country on this late September morning. And with dry, stable air, things pretty quiet. The one problem, spot's going to be up around Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. Flash flood watches in effect there. We do note a marginal risk of severe storms later today and tonight around Cincinnati, parts of the Carolinas and Virginia. But we are in dry air. In fact, we'll just hop onto the QPF for the next 5 days, showing nothing. This is the rain valid through Monday morning of next week. And goodness, we could use a good soaking 2-day rain, but that's not going to happen. And keep in mind, October is the driest month of the year. So, of course, November, December, that's the fall severe weather season. Things tend to pick up then. Big rains, again, up around D.C., Baltimore. The bullseye seems to be almost 9 inches there. They could have some flooding problems. All right, tropical fans. Got the one system to watch, the wave approaching the Windward Islands. Hurricane hunters got in there yesterday. They could not find a closed circulation. We note a flare of convection in the wave this morning. Still expected to become Tropical Storm Matthew fairly soon. In almost all the models, all of them except maybe one, they turn that north, a hard right turn over the Caribbean, coming through the channel between Cuba and Haiti, up into the Atlantic, around the Bahamas. And, of course, this is suggesting no problems for the Gulf of Mexico. The GFS ensemble guidance, 21 members. All of them except for one take it up into the Atlantic. No Gulf of Mexico threat. The mean, the black squares that keep it just offshore, you can see that one deterministic run takes it up into North Carolina. We'll show you the specific OZ model output here in just a minute. Intensity guidance, now, it keeps trying to ramp this thing up. Hasn't happened so far, but again, most of the models suggest this could become a major hurricane in 4 and 5 days. Category 3 or higher. And based on the SSTs and the shear guidance, that probably is going to be right. So it's certainly one to watch. But again, just odds are now it's not going to be a Gulf storm. Not carved in stone, but odds pretty high it will not be. All right, here's the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid today at 1 o'clock. You can see the upper low digging southward north of us. And again, a beautiful day today, mostly sunny. We'll expect a high in the mid-80s, much like yesterday. But tomorrow, 10:30 high digs south. A northerly flow increases. The high will drop into the middle 70s. Going to feel really nice tomorrow, and the same thing on Friday. In fact, the GFS showing a high of only 72 in Birmingham on Friday. Maybe some clouds, scattered clouds over the northern part of the state, but the day will be dry. And what a great night for a high school football. You might need a light jacket. Saturday as the weekend begins, a beautiful day, sunny. Start the day down in the low 50s. Some of the colder pockets go back in the 40s. The high will be in the upper 70s. And Sunday, sunny with a high at or just over 80. Monday, we're still dry. Highs creeping back up in the middle 80s. This is Tuesday. We note Matthew coming up through the Bahamas. Wednesday, a week from today. Boy, look at the trough in the western states. Again, Matthew is east of Melbourne, Florida. We are dry. 80s and 60s for most days next week. Not quite as cool as the air we're expecting tomorrow and Friday. Let's go to the end of the forecast period. This is the end of next week. This is Friday, the 7th. Wow, look at the trough digging in here. That's suggesting might see some showers and storms ultimately if that makes it in here. And Matthew would be in around Chesapeake Bay. And again, keep in mind, most of the ensemble members keep this thing just offshore, but I get the funny feeling this tropical system next week will cause great weeping and gnashing of teeth for meteorologists along the Atlantic seaboard. Just for the fun of it, let's look at the same time, exact same time, end of next week off the European. Slightly different, huh? It's got a hurricane in the Bahamas, nowhere close to North Carolina. So nobody knows. I mean, until the thing gets a low-level center, and we get it organized, we get better data, you're going to see these models fluctuate. But there is very good consistency in the idea of keeping this out of the Gulf. How about the Canadian global model? This is Thursday of next week, and it's got it offshore, southeast of Long Island. So we'll keep watching that. Numbers, yes, 70s, mid-70s tomorrow, Friday, upper 70s Saturday, lows well down in the 50s. The ensemble here showing 51 for Birmingham Friday morning. And then next week we warm back up with 80s and 60s, but no 90s on the board. For the most part, we can hit 90 a time or two. We all know late in the season, but in terms of mid to upper 90s, we're done with them until next summer. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.